fighting parents, spat in the faces of their children, making their lives worse, and giving fascists back to them. Very correct. All right, let's watch Denham's video. She started a new channel. Very smart.
Get a load of this dumbass. What a stupid fucking dumb bitch. Holy shit. Yeah, that's defamation. Straight up, man. Okay, first of all, she's a fucking bitch. Shame on you. Fuck you. Here's a Hassan Orbiter Denims. You guys might not know who she is because she's mostly irrelevant. This is a disgusting human being. She's a vile fucking piece of shit. And yes, she is a fucking bitch. That's a fucking bitch of a person. She is earning the coveted distinction of being a fucking bitch. I have decreed, let it be known, that Denims is a dumb fucking bitch. What a vile fucking human being.
Hey guys, I think I pissed off Ethan Klein. He hasn't had a lot of nice things to say about me since the incident.
45,000 live viewers, by the way. 45,000 views. She had like 45,000 live viewers.
So yeah, I got around 45,000 viewers covering Ethan Klein's content nuke on Hassan. The video was pretty terrible overall. And I think anyone that wasn't sure before is completely certain now that...
By the way, so Denims watched the full video. And they had like one clip that they were pulling out of context, or like two clips they were trying to use that she was proven wrong. One was the Ethan Klein, like the Sneeko fan that Ethan Klein lied and said was like a Hassan fan, which by the way is not even a legitimate thing to argue about Hassan. There's all sorts of people in our audience who say and do all sorts of shit. I can't control who clicks the Central Committee stream. I'm not responsible for everything my fans do unless I'm encouraging them to do it. And the reality is the guy isn't even a Hassan fan. So Hassan tried to find someone to say that Hassan is creating some sort of anti-Semitic community. The guy's not a Hassan fan at all. He's a Sneeko fan. And Ethan himself admitted that on his own channel. And the other thing, what was the other thing they tried to say she did? Oh, she denied a rape victim. You know, she said a rape victim was lying. That woman claimed she was never sexually raped or assaulted herself. So she, like, what are you talking about? Ethan is saying somebody was assaulted who wasn't assaulted as far as sexually. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ethan has become a shell of his former self. I mean, shit, I used to watch this guy in high school.
I didn't.
I wish I could fucking memory zap my face after watching this shit.
Now, this video isn't going to cover the whole manifesto because, well, I already did that on my stream, but I did want to respond to some of the clips of me that I've seen floating around. Before we get to those clips, I wanted to address Ethan and anyone else that might have noticed that I was silent or sometimes needed to control myself to make sure I didn't laugh.
Once again, speechless?
You're my hero, bro.
Nothing to say, girl! Say something. More nothing to say? Coming out. What's funny about that? Nothing to say? No comment?
I can't believe...
No comment! No comment.
Wait. She watched the whole video and he tried to find clips where she was just waiting for a chance to speak? That's amazing.
The problem is that Ethan is lying. It's obvious to anyone that knows anything about the topic before going into the video, and it's also obvious to Ethan. I'm silent trying to control myself because I honestly cannot believe that the Ethan Klein isn't afraid to make such a dishonest video. In each clip, I am holding out in the hopes that he brings it back or explains himself, and each time he never did. He literally just leaves in flat out lies. And if you don't already believe me, let me show you. The first clip is about a Sneeko fan that harassed Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein says in his video that this was because of Hassan. The clip is supposed to be me saying that this is obviously a Sneeko fan and then being dumbstruck when he's proven to be a Hassan fan, but he's not. Ethan is lying. Let's watch the clip from his stream.
45,000 people and nobody's got a problem. Watch this
You're
one.
ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist. Bro,
Look in the fucking.
You look like a fucking rapist, Ethan.
Is she horrified by what he said, or she's like, got him?
You're bad for you.
Okay, can I just say really
That's creepy shit to do to someone in person. That's what she's reacting to. What the fuck is he talking about?
quickly? It's very obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan. Like, that's very clear Sneeko lexicon. Can we just be honest for just 2 seconds?
Let's be honest. Finally,
just be real.
please.
Wallahi, that is not.
Wallahi.
No.
What does that mean?
Wallahi, I swear.
Oh, I
to
swear.
God.
Okay, good. She swears.
That's what AB is there for, translating the Arabic.
Oh my God, bro, I love you. Hassan, can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro.
Once again,
I have to interview you.
speechless?
You're like you're my hero, bro.
Nothing to
I love
say,
you.
girl!
You're the coolest guy.
Here's the. You just went a whole fucking. You just grandstand on.
By the way, Ethan Klein is lying. That's why his eyes are really wide. He's going like this. Because he's lying the entire time. He knows he's lying. He thinks he's got you tricked. He's doing this like, I'm just a small bean. I'm just a small bean. Oh, I got you. Oh, I'm innocent. He's opening his eyes to show how he's guileless. This is when somebody's lying, they will oftentimes make themselves look like a small little bean. A small little bean could never trick you. You're so smart. Super's delight is another phrase for it.
How he's obviously just must not be a fan of Hassan. And like, how could she sit there so stupid and smug? Oh
Like,
my
just
God.
Again, Ethan is lying. His proof isn't proof at all. The first time this guy shows up during this stream, it happens 15 minutes earlier when he meets Hassan's crew. Notice he doesn't react when they say they're going to find Hassan.
What are you guys doing? What kind of content?
We're just streaming. It's live stream.
Oh, live streaming?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a content creator too, bro.
Yeah. Sure.
I do content. So you're just literally live right now?
Yeah. Yes.
How many viewers?
A couple. A few.
You?
Yeah.
What, 30?
Probably more than 30.
Really?
I would say more than 30. Yeah.
Dude, guys, my YouTube channel is @datingandmoney. Please subscribe.
If you're a Hassan fan, you know Lalo. Like, he's not a Hassan fan. He doesn't know who these people are at all.
@dating and money. I talk about Palestine
Dating
on
and
there.
money.
Yeah.
Dating and money.
I talk about Palestine on there.
Okay, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to find his son.
Okay.
Where is this guy?
Where'd he go? Yeah.
But yeah, just type in and then dating and money, guys.
So the guy is there because he's trying to get viewers to his Sneeko fan dating and money channel.
Listen, chat, do not fucking go to dating and money.
Chat, you better stay here. Do not go to that. We can't afford to lose any more viewers. Hassan has fallen on hard times. You know this.
Now, the clip from Ethan's nuke, which happens 15 minutes later.
What's up, man?
Oh my God, bro, I love you. Hassan, can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro. I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro.
This one is pretty ridiculous on its face, so I'll just leave it there. But here are some of the nice things this guy had to say about Hassan and me on his Twitter.
Now, transgenderism is a mental illness. Women give it to attention-seeking mental illnesses because women are emotional. And Hassan is a communist queer who says he's free Palestine, but his actions dictate otherwise. It should be illegal for her to say she's a political streamer. Women should talk about politics. They are too emotional to the Jewish ideologic, demonic, mentally ill transsexuals that deracinate our society. Free Sneeko on YouTube. Why is he banned for rules that were changed? Not only that, but he is one of the biggest source of viewership. The man did nothing wrong. We will not stop till our friend is unbanned at YouTube. Facts free at Sneeko. LOL, women should stay out of politics 100. And then there's, of course, Hassan in the maid outfit in Japan. And Dating and Money says, dis N-word at Hassan the Hun, a F-slur. This guy is not a Hassan fan. He's very clearly a Sneeko fan. So why did Ethan make this such an important part of his stream? The answer is because he's a liar. Now, some of you, you know, and Ethan's not going to pull this clip up on his stream and deal with these facts. Ethan's a liar, all right? And he's a knowing liar. Some of you are going to say it's because he's incompetent. No, he's a fucking liar. This is why we said, oh, this is Destiny clips. Because even though I think Ethan is this, like, stupid, I think that if Ethan Klein was putting this into the nuke that he spent weeks and weeks on, he would go back and watch the whole context so he got an understanding of what's happening here. But he knowingly knew that if he just lied in front of his audience, they would believe him because they trust him. This is what you need to understand. You can never trust Ethan Klein. He's a liar. He did this intentionally. It's not a mistake. If it was a mistake, he would have corrected himself already. Right? He would have said, you know what? I was wrong about that guy. He's not a Hassan fan, but the rest of the video holds up. He hasn't done that because he's lying. Sort of like, for example, Ethan Klein pulled a clip of me saying like, oh, there's some sort of bots being added to Ethan's subscribers to keep them flat. You know, they were declining by tens of thousands of subscribers a day, and then all of a sudden it went dead flat. And somebody else pointed out that the YouTube API for subscriber count isn't live like it is on Twitch. And I was wrong. And so I said, oh, I turned out, and like 5 or 10 minutes later, I looked into it and I said, you know what? You're right. I probably should. And I deleted the post I made saying that he was definitely getting botted because I was corrected. And when I made a mistake in something that I'm not an expert in, the YouTube API, when somebody corrected me, I changed my mind. And I came out and said that was wrong. Because sometimes you get things wrong. I was probably not in, I was overconfident in that position because I know how Twitch works, okay? I don't know how YouTube works because I'm not a YouTuber. So I thought Twitch was very similar to YouTube in the sense that YouTube would want you to have live subscriber counts. Because I've seen so many of those like live subscriber count, you know, clips and stuff. So I thought there was some sort of legitimacy to it, but it turns out there's not. That was a mistake on my part. It is what it is. But guess what? Ethan Klein subscribers are not going up, which is pretty clearly the point that we were making. You're falling off, bitch.
He had to say about Hassan and me on his Twitter. You know the difference between you and Hassan?
What?
Not Nasrallah. The difference between Ethan, the difference between you and Hassan Piker?
Yes, what? Please tell me. So insightful.
He never...
I don't deny rape. I don't support terrorists. I don't lie and gaslight and manipulate my audience.
The second clip is about a stream Hassan did reacting to Hassan Nasrallah. The accusation is that Hassan supports Nasrallah and I made a fool out of myself by saying that that wasn't true, only to be immediately proven wrong. Let's watch. He never said Hassan Nasrallah was a good guy.
Right.
You explicitly said Gallant was a good guy.
Right, exactly, of course. Then you did the legend of the Nazi atrocities.
I don't have an issue with them.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen. Listen.
By the way, the chatter, he didn't say that. He was reading a chat. This is an example of Ethan Klein lying to his audience again. In Twitch, it is a common thing for a streamer to read a chat, read what the chatter said, and then respond to it. This is just literally taking advantage of people not understanding Twitch culture to lie about someone. And you know who knows this? Ethan Klein. Again, dishonest.
You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these...
No comment. That's amazing.
What? He was literally explaining why he's not based. He was literally explaining why he doesn't align with Hezbollah. You cut it off.
Here's my comment. Hassan is reading a chat message. Yes, seriously. He goes on to explain that the reason the chatter might find himself agreeing with him is that Nasrallah is well educated.
You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fits, and you hear about like some of their attitudes about like gay people, for example, and you immediately fucking resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million. You might not agree with his methods, but ultimately, this motherfucker has read a shit ton of books.
Okay, I thought those two clips were fun, but the next clip is a little bit more serious. Before we get into it, a quick palate cleanser. You'll notice when we get to the next clip, Ethan Klein put a banner labeling me as an ex-Destiny orbiter. He's doing this to distract from the fact that he's currently orbiting Destiny.
Hassan and his community is desperate to link me to Destiny, someone who I don't even know. They claim that he like ghost wrote my video, that he's my favorite creator.
I wonder why people might think that. For one, Ethan uses Destiny's subreddit as a source for his stream. Here's him doing it in October, and here's him explaining why he got the Frogan section of his video wrong.
Here, it's right here.
Oh, never mind.
It's right here. Right at the top. Frogan Rising Star 2024. Right.
r/Destiny. Vote your favorite 2024 Streamer Awards Rising Star. I voted Forsen r/Destiny. I thought you were supposed to be some sort of like intelligent YouTuber. You just pull random shit from Google? No wonder you like Destiny. Oh my god, it makes so much sense. These fucking dumbasses just Google the top result on their opinions and then put it out there as if it's research. This is shocking. I mean, it's not, but wow.
Right here. What even is this post from? Is it even from Destiny subreddit?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that's the post.
Yes,
so that's the post. So that is where I found it. And like, I'll admit that was sloppy.
But really, we could also just ask Destiny. Here's what he had to say on October 22nd, the day after Ethan Klein got caught browsing a subreddit.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan to publicly do anything with you, but if you reach out on private at all, well, privately we chat a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much the past week? I'm like scripting these fucking videos. But publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because Hassan is just going to accuse me of like mind fucking him, basically, right?
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Now, personally, I don't know. I just want to put a pin in here and say, the thing about Destiny is he just lies blatantly all the time because he's a dishonest guy. So maybe he was lying about Ethan. I don't know if Destiny was lying about Ethan or telling the truth about Ethan. All I could go off is the fact that Ethan Klein himself admits to taking evidence from Destiny subreddit. And the stuff they use to attack me is long-standing shit from Destiny's community. It's from the Destiny wiki. Like, they just pulled what they consider to be embarrassing clips from Destiny's community and then spread them. That's all of their research. Do you think they looked me up and looked into my campaign and what I've ran on? They watched my debate on PBS and they said, wow, Mike from PA, he was a real piece of shit. Do you think they were aware of any of the context of what I believe or even care? It is Mike from PA supports Hassan. Therefore, Mike from PA equals I can attack him personally using any trashing I can find. That's it. They made it seem like Dan and Love did deep research on me. They did not. And by the way, if you want to do deep research on me, why don't you ask me, Dan, you cowardly little bitch? That's what journalists do. They ask the person.
I never fucked Destiny.
Anyways, on to the final clip.
Very good. Go from believe all women to Pixar didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were raped were murdered on the spot.
Here's the thing, though. We are believing the women who come forward and talk about their sexual abuse or experiences. I'm not going to believe fucking Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting raped. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that that's insane, right?
Yeah. Obviously.
The reason why that's insane, in case you want to know, Here's an article from The Guardian, British newspaper, saying, where is Joe Biden's fury about decapitated Palestinian babies? Let me see if I can find it. She says there, Joe Biden, one of the most inflammatory examples was the false rumor that 40 decapitated babies were found at Kfar Aza kibbutz after Hamas attack. Hamas, of course, committed atrocities on 7 October, including murdering 38 Israeli children. But the fake news about 40 beheaded babies, which the Israeli government press office has confirmed to Le Monde was not true, was potent and emotive and spread absolutely everywhere, including to and from the White House. Joe Biden repeated these unverified reports, even when his staff urged him not to. He even lied about seeing pictures of these babies. It was Iraq's weapons of mass destruction all over again. It was the Kuwait incubator hoax all over again. It laid the basis for genocide, for politicians to look at pictures of Palestinian children decapitated by U.S. manufactured missiles and just shrug. That's why we can't. And by the way, these are the articles. Here's another source. Biden reportedly ignored staff caution on beheaded Israeli babies. Now, there were I think there was 2 babies that were killed on October 7th. Or was it 1? It was 1 or 2. I'd have to go back and check. 1 was killed by a stray bullet that went through a safe house door and struck a baby. There was no intentional murder of babies by Hamas on October 7th. 0 direct, like, intentional murders of babies. Children were killed, without a doubt, in the crossfire. But we don't know who killed who with what bullet because Israel has blocked all investigation. Israel has blocked forensic investigation of the crime. They destroyed all these crime scenes and buried, for example, in the music festival, they buried all of the cars and bodies in mass pits as to prevent investigation. Why? Because today it was confessed that they followed the Hannibal Directive, which means that the Israeli police and military kill people that are being kidnapped. They kill people that are being captured. That was today. Here's from the Australia Broadcast Corporation. Israeli forces accused of killing their own citizens under the Hannibal Directive during October 7th chaos. This was fucking I'm sorry, this is what this article's from September, but there was another admission today. This is an older story, but this is so, like, when people talk about who died on October 7th, who killed who, we literally don't know. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume that Hamas killed a lot of civilians and killed the majority of people on October 7th. But you can't just trust Joe Biden to tell the truth about these situations because he's knowingly lied about the beheaded baby shit. And by the way, you don't have to lie about Hamas. Why are you trying to lie about Hamas? The reason why they're trying to lie about Hamas is to justify what Israel is doing to Palestinian civilians. Just tell the truth about what Hamas did.
Was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas terrorists and was held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old,
How did she leave, Ethan? How did she leave custody, Ethan? And the first negotiated ceasefire, which is what I and Hassan and Dedums and Frogan and all of us support, a diplomatic result. We just got a whole bunch of new hostages released. How did that happen? Trump negotiated a ceasefire, Ethan. This is not a great source. Just because they're going to claim, they're going to claim it's a bad source. That's not that I think the source is bad. You just need to get a better source, Joe Bob. We're trying to convince white racists here.
Witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Agam reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her.
Okay, first of all, Hassan saying, first of all, I think that was a dumb. Let me just say this. I think when Hassan said that was a dumb clip. He literally fed propagandists a clip because he said a sentence that they could snip for 5 seconds and try to characterize it as being something else. What Hassan was saying was he knows that there was probably some sort of like illicit sexual crime. You know, there were tens of thousands of Allied rapes during the liberation of Europe in World War II, that the United States raped all across France and all across Germany. So, and Italy, does that mean that the United States was the bad guys? Or is it when you have a war, which is the collapse of civil authority, and you give life and death power to the hands of 18-year-olds, some of them are going to abuse it. And that kind of crime is expected. It's a sign of collapsing discipline. So it would be shocking if there was no sexual assaults by Hamas in the war zone. It would be shocking because it would be the first army that it never did any sexual assaults or rapes. Now, that said, it doesn't make it okay. Those rapes and those sexual assaults should be punished as crimes, which is what they are. But they were trying to say that Hamas, as an organization, made mass rape of Israelis a policy of terror. And that's just not the case. That is not the case. There is no credible evidence to believe that that was ever a policy of Hamas. And the reason why they're saying it is they want you to dehumanize Palestinians and accept the fact that their civilians being killed is comeuppance that they deserve. It doesn't matter. Like, rapes don't justify genocide. And Palestinian individual committing a rape doesn't mean that their desire of the desire of the Palestinian nation to have a state is therefore invalidated.
Liar. Please go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it. What's the problem? Fuck.
Okay, so witnesses, so-called witnesses, but not actually people claiming they were sexually assaulted, right? And there's no forensic evidence of it. So you have Israelis who have been proven to be liars. The 40 beheaded baby story is a perfect example, saying they saw something, and then there's no physical forensic evidence, and there's no individuals claiming to be raped. Now, again, that still doesn't mean there were no rapes, but we're not disbelieving victims. If victims come forward, I will listen to their testimony.
Fucking bitch. Did you not hear what they said? You respect women? Why are you calling them liars? How fucking cool is that? Say something.
Israel says still can't find any 7 October rape victims. Prosecutor admits. She admits that Israel has little evidence against any specific individual. Using evidence to link a specific crime to a specific defendant when dealing with dozens of crime scenes where hundreds of suspects were caught and thousands of offenses were committed is almost impossible. There are no organized chains of evidence. There is no one who filmed the videos you would want to present in court. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz falsely claimed that members of Hamas made videos of themselves raping Israelis. Where's the evidence? There's no evidence. Gez confirms that 15 months after the events, Israel has not identified a single victim in which a prosecution can be brought against an alleged perpetrator of a sexual attack. Unfortunately, it would be very difficult to prove these crimes. In the end, we have no complainants, Gez admitted, noting the vast gap between public perceptions and factual reality. So, no complainants means nobody says they were raped. It doesn't mean nobody was raped and then murdered. It just means you're saying we're not believing victims, but what victims? Who? What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? And if somebody was raped and murdered, is there forensic evidence?
This is, oh God. It doesn't matter if rape happened on October 7th. It doesn't change the dynamic for me. Hassan declares before finally admitting that Palestinian resistance is not perfect. A social media influencer openly defends rape and mass murder. Wait, what? What did I say in the 17 seconds before this in this 140p fucking clip that you found, dumbass? I'm saying that it most likely did happen, but that doesn't change the dynamic of the genocide. That's correct. I wonder if I could just like, can I sue a sitting congressperson? Oh, it's his personal account. I wonder if it's different.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can.
You just said you believe victims, but here it's a victim right now, a woman telling you this happened, and you're smiling? How do you disprove firsthand testimony? She goes, I wouldn't believe it unless it was firsthand. Here's a 17-year-old whose family was murdered in front of her, and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually raped while being in captivity.
That's not, she does not claim that. She doesn't claim that at all. That's not true. What? Huh? Okay, well, let's look this up. I mean, maybe there's some evidence that I just haven't encountered. What is her name again? Do you guys know her name? Dennis addresses it? Okay.
You just said you believe victims, but here it's a victim right now, a woman telling you this happened, and you're smiling? How do you disprove firsthand testimony? She goes, I wouldn't believe it unless it was firsthand. Here's a 17-year-old whose family was murdered in front of her, and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually raped while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not going to fucking acknowledge what just happened?
I will acknowledge what just happened. This woman who you claimed was continually raped in captivity did not claim to have been raped. In fact, when she was released from captivity, she had this to say.
ואז אחד מהם, הצעיר, עשה איתי הורדת ידיים
The young man did arm
מגבת,
wrestling with me, but he brought a towel.
כי אסור לו לגעת בי.
Because it's forbidden for them to touch us. For them, women are sacred. Women are like queens.
שי מלכה. היו עושים לי שיחות איך לשמור על אגם. הסברנו להם שגם אצלנו לפעמים כן יש שלאדם יכול להיות חבר, או יכולים להיות לה כמה חברים לפני שהיא תתחתן. אני אפילו מעודדת את זה, שהיא תתנסה, שהיא תכיר, לפני שהיא אצלה מוסד הנישואים. אבל היינו מתאמתים על זה.
Later, she did a different interview for a doc.
They're literally saying that the Hamas fighters treated women like queens? Israeli hostages said that, not me.
Documentary, which is what Ethan put on the screen. In that interview, she says that at least half the hostages she spoke to said they were sexually assaulted. At no point did she claim that anything had happened to her, and to my knowledge so far, no hostages have given first-hand accounts of being sexually assaulted in captivity.
כל פעם שפגשתי מישהו היה לפחות מישהי או מישהו אחד שחוו התעללות מינית והתעללות פיזית. כאילו חצי מהן.
Now, other women have also claimed that while they weren't victims themselves, they spoke to others that were. Asking people to believe secondhand accounts that change with no explanation is insane. I take issue with other people manipulating these women's horrific experiences to fit.
Here's the reality. Like, I don't know what happened. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these women were sexually assaulted or sexually humiliated or assaulted in some way. And if they came forward, I would listen to their testimonies, and I would want it investigated and the perpetrators prosecuted. 100,000 quadrillion %. But we also have direct video evidence of Israel's raping people to death, innocent Gazans to death on video. So do you see the standard of evidence for what Ethan thinks is reasonable? Ethan does not talk about the Israeli Israeli officials raping Palestinian prisoners who have been convicted of no crime to death, but he will say that we're denying rapes when we're trying to find actual direct testimony and accusations by an individual. Do you see what Ethan Klein does here? He's knowingly lying. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is, I know he's not going to like to hear this, IDF Benjamin Netanyahu propaganda to justify the crimes they're committing in Gaza.
Their narratives. I have said countless times that in any military, paramilitary, or terrorist attack, there will unfortunately be sexual abuse. American troops have been found guilty of this countless times over the past few decades. I have to believe that there was sexual abuse on October 7th. I will also always believe victims who come forward to talk about their sexual abuse. I stand by that. But you don't care about victims, Ethan, because if you did, you wouldn't make up lies just to push your anti-Muslim Arab bias. What bias? This bias.
I do, on the other hand, acknowledge that, like, I think per capita, a lot of the...
By the way, just to back up what I was saying, here's a story from Le Monde, which is a French outlet. Beatings, deprivation, torture, rape. Palestinians speak of the hell of Israeli prisons. This is from last summer. Physicians for Human Rights Israel has denounced continuous and systemic abuse by prison staff. And there's a lot of stories on this. Like if you go, IDF charges reservists with aggravated abuse of Palestinian prisoners. Indictment comes as 9 other soldiers appear in Israeli military court over allegations of sexual abuse of detainee. The only reason we're even prosecuting this case is because a video of it leaked. Used a baton and his assault rifle to attack prisoners on multiple occasions. His injuries included a ruptured intestine, severe injury to the anus, and lungs, broken ribs, the Israeli daily Haaretz reported. A doctor who treated the man told the paper when he saw the horrific extent of the injuries, he initially assumed they were caused by other inmates. I didn't believe an Israeli jailer would do such a thing. If the state and the members of the Knesset think there is no limit to the abuse of prisoners, let them come and kill them themselves like the Nazis, or close the hospital. It prompted an invasion of 2 military bases by politicians and demonstrators, mostly representing far-right parties who were furious about the arrests and described the men as heroes. So not only did they do rapes in Israel of Palestinian prisoners that are caught on video, there was riots to free the rapists. Ethan, do you have any comment on that? I have a feeling Ethan's not going to look at this clip.
Weird fucking terrorism and crimes and shit. I mean, there's definitely some strong thread of violence through the Muslim community. Yeah. Or Arab Muslims, to be more specific.
Anyways, that's the video. And in case Ethan doesn't want to watch it, here are my thoughts straight from his mouth.
I'm not watching the video. What's the virtue in that? Literally, if you want to know what's my opinion, just watch the fucking video. I went through great... He goes, he's not political and he's a fucking idiot. Good. That's why I took my time to tightly articulate...
That's why I took my time to tightly articulate shit that's made up. Absolutely pathetic.
Articulate my thoughts into a video. As concise as it can be. It's long because obviously I had a lot to say. And I think this stuff isn't so simple, which is why you need like
14 minutes
to say what I wanted to say. It's not simply something that you can convey so easily. And that you're not watching the fucking video. And that's somehow virtuous, that you're being a coward. You are literally being a coward. And that's virtuous in his community. Like, what are we talking about? How does his audience let him get away with this? I mean, yeah, sure. I apologize and acknowledgement when I'm wrong. I love Destiny.
The only reason that, by the way, guys, Ethan, the only reason he's gone after he's connected with Destiny, it's because of his mutual. By the way, chat. Wow, great job. That was very funny, Denims. Honestly, him attacking Denims is the best thing to ever happen to me and Denims. Like, legitimately, him attacking us is great because he's dumb as dirt. And he'll just continue to be like, Mike, it was cringe 6 years ago. He doesn't want to debate Sam Cedar. He doesn't want to debate Hassan. He doesn't want to debate me. Did you know that from May 5th, 2014 to May 22nd, 2014, Mike from PA was not on the ballot? What happened on May 22nd? Well, he won the Democratic nomination. It was returned to the ballot. Oh. Oh my gosh, from May 5th to May 22nd, 2014, I wasn't on the ballot. Guys, this is the thing I didn't want you to know this. But from May 5th, 2014 to May 22nd, 2014, I was not on the ballot.